back live from Pittsburgh, PA today, taking bids and prepping for our spring toy and bank cyber toy auction this Saturday, the 6th, which begins on liveauctioneers.com at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard. And we have over 450 lots for sale on cyber toys, and includes mechanical banks, steel banks, celluloid toys. We have some cast iron toys. We have some Shuko. We have, and many more, some fire toys.
You name it, we have it, Bree.
Yes, there's a large variety in this sale. So for those of you that don't know, this will be our 3rd official sale for Cyber Toy Auctions, and the auctions are held online on liveauctioneers.com. And how you get to them is you can search, when you go to Live Auctioneers, there's a search bar at the top and you type Cyber Toy Auctions. Our sale will come up. You'll be able to register to bid from there. And then once you're registered to bid, the day of the sale at 10 a.m., there will be a red bid or watch live button that you'll be able to click, and you can bid live and you can watch the sale as it moves on. If you aren't going to be around then, you can also place your bids online prior to the sale, and they work as if they were absentee. So Live Auctioneers will implement them for you. But if you prefer not to bid online, we still do accept phone and email bids and snail mail bids. So there's still time.
We can accommodate everyone.
We do. So there's still time if you'd prefer absentee. And but it's really convenient and easy. You can participate via mobile app, iPad, iPhone, any electronic device that's connected to the internet. So you could be sitting at dinner bidding. I mean, it's fun.
If you have any questions, we're happy to answer any of those, how you can bid. But if you haven't done it before, you really should try, because I think once you do it once or twice, it just sort of becomes second nature, and you have a lot of fun. Everywhere you go, you can bid on our sales.
Yes. So you can bid on the go. Today we are going to feature a couple lots that will be for sale in the auction this Saturday.
Right to it.
We are. So we're starting with a street lamp.
Yeah, this is one of the rare and more ornate items in the sale. Right here, look at that. That's an 18-inch street lamp, Bree. Okay, that's made by the company Marklin out of Germany, the premier manufacturer. What makes this one sort of interesting is it has the original light bulb. And this was an electrified post.
Right here.
So that's an original bulb. That's very difficult to find, made about 1902. Great for using like on trading displays. A lot of people like to use these with their automotive toys. There's a whole series of street lamps that you can collect. But this is one of the rarer types. And I think it should do rather well on Saturday.
Should. And this comes in different scales, right?
Yeah, this one's 18 inches. They made them smaller. You would actually see some that are double and actually a triple. This one has a cast iron base that's sort of removable. And then down here are the electrodes that you would attach to a dry. Well, actually, this would be a wet volt battery or a wet cell battery. So again, very ornate, nice for a display.
It is. It's a beautiful piece.
It's
I
going to
really
go
love
along.
So that's our Marklin street lamp, and that is lot 410. So look out for that on Saturday. Next, we're moving on to a gentleman by the name of Artie.
Artie!
He was made by Ives.
Nope. He was made by Erie Specialty Company in Erie,
Got it.
PA.
Okay. My mistake.
No, 1890. I didn't know that either. I actually just had to look it up, Bree. Now, this was part of a larger cigar sort of trade stimulator. They were clockwork. It had a clockwork mechanism, and you put your cigar in there, press a button, and it would cut your cigar for you. And when it did it, Artie would actually raise the cigar to his mouth
his arm
and have a little toast. Again, this is just part of it. He's sitting on a chimney. And this would actually screwed onto this clockwork mechanism that was a big base. There's only a handful of these articulated cigar cutters out there, and this is probably one of the more famous ones you'll see. You aren't getting the whole cigar cutter here, but I think just sort of as a nice little piece to put on a shelf. It sits beautifully, has a lot of character and form to it. Again, sort of instrumental and intuitive to our cyber toy auctions. a great toy that I think is going to go at a very fair price.
He is, and if you love cigars, then Artie is your man.
We have a couple tobacco Annie type things here too.
I do have a question though, Ray, that I've just noticed. So on his back, there's a little almost wire type.
Well, that's the spring mechanism. So the mechanism that would go up inside from the clockwork that would cause him to raise his arm. That's what that little spring is.
A reason why he's sticking out his back, or is that just the way it was?
Just the way it was. Probably in reality that should actually be slipped in. I think it probably slipped out of his back there.
Very interesting. That's little Artie. So yes, we are going to stay on that theme, the smoking theme, while we're at it. And Artie was lot 407, so if you're searching for him on Live Auctioneers. Next, we're moving on to some cigarette tins, which...
Now, Bree's never seen these. When I was a kid, I would still see them around a little bit.
This is the first time I've ever seen these. We have the Lucky Strike and Camel. And both of these on them say that they hold 50 cigarettes, which they must have been pretty thin cigarettes because they don't seem that big to me.
But this is the way everyone got their cigarettes back in the teens and 20s. Even in World War I, they didn't have any soft packs. Soft pack was a revolutionary thing for selling cigarettes. And this was a luxury type product. These are American cigarettes. The Turkish and domestic blend for the Camels. Very prized overseas.
And one of them, I believe it is the Camel, was manufactured by R.J. Reynolds Tobacco Co. in Winston-Salem, North Carolina.
Camel was RJR, and I think Lucky Strikes was American Tobacco Company.
Yes, this one was American Tobacco Company. So they're manufactured by different companies, but I just think they're really neat. And like I said, I've never seen anything like them. This Lucky Strike one even says it's toasted on it.
I like our toasted tobacco.
Which is neat. So those are the cigarette tins. They are lot 408 in searching for them. Next, we're moving on to a fun lot, which actually falls quite well in line with the Kentucky Derby that we have coming up.
Oh, we do have the Derby.
But this is a horse race game. It comes with its original box. The box has a bit of wear on it. There is some water damage on the top of it, but the coloring on the label itself still looks very nice. And it was manufactured by a company called Gee Whiz. And Ray likes to say this alliteration, but for furious fun.
I do. I like furious fun. That's part of the best thing in life, furious fun. And this came with like little tokens right here. And it's basically a gambling game. So you would have your tokens and you could bet on the different horses here. You put them on there.
So they're calling them XOXO cubes. Oh. But they're all different multicolors, as you can kind of see. I'll try to hold them up without sliding them all the way towards you. But you would line them up along here. You'd put them
You're going on red.
In the different categories.
Going on yellow. You have 6 horses to choose from.
We have 6 horses.
So you place your bids. And this has like a big flywheel mechanism. Now holding, we tried it. It's not working exactly how it should, but you'll get the idea. I think it does need a little oil in the horses. They haven't been raced in a long time. Okay, but you wind the flywheel, and you ready, Bree?
Yep.
Give her a rip. And the horses go along. They move along in that fashion. And then when they make it to the end, the winner will flip up there. We have not been able to get it to the end.
So the white horse wins this race. But what's really cool about it are these little marbles almost. These little balls on the inside.
Like little BBs.
They are more similar to BBs than marbles, I guess. But they're on the inside, and they tap these. Once you spin the flywheel, they tap the horses at different speeds. And when they get momentum, that's really what makes them go all the way across to the end.
So nice racing game made in England. It has actually an American and an English patent on it. In its original box. Beautiful condition.
Yep, that is fantastic condition. I'm going to bring it a little bit closer now that I'm holding it so you can really see. But you can see the colors are absolutely beautiful on it. It still has a gorgeous patina. Unlike the box, it's in excellent condition. So you can see all the little horses.
Yeah, it's very complete.
So it's a very nice set. And that is our horse race. And I like the name of the company who manufactured it too. It's a fun name. Okay, I'm going to keep the lid with that so that we don't misplace that. And then we're going to switch gears a little bit. So we're moving on to a Liberty ship.
The Liberty ships. Now, the Liberty ships are one of the things that they say won the war for us. This was actually made by a company called Liberty Playthings out of Niagara Falls, but it represents the Liberty ships. And Liberty ships were an English design, but also made in American. Actually, they made some in Ambridge, which is right down the river from us. Actually, the painting behind us, the Gorson behind us, that's the Monongahela River, goes into the Ohio, right in downtown Pittsburgh, and right downstream is where Ambridge is. And during the war, there was a shipbuilding facility there, and they made a number of Liberty ships. I think they made them in 11 different places. It was a very inexpensive cargo ship. It was sort of slow. They did have a couple guns on them, which you can see here. It's actually missing the front gun, but the other two are on there. This one has a clockwork mechanism. You can see the propeller go. Yeah, propeller
Still
go.
does spin in the back there.
This was a play toy of something that actually helped us win the war. Produced sort of right during the war, mainly wood, a little bit of metal fittings on there. Very desirable. A lot of these wartime type toys, which Cyber has a lot of, they weren't really made in large numbers. Materials were short at that time. Money was short at that time. But they still were producing toys, and this is a beautiful example.
It really
of one of
is. The blue on there, I mean, you can see
it's
it
beautiful,
coming through.
Yeah, it really does look great there, doesn't it?
It's beautiful. Mantelpiece.
That's right.
Really, really nice.
Yeah, probably
ship.
18, 20 inches long, maybe 22.
Looking for this one online, it is lot 401. So when you're searching for that,
okay,
that's our Liberty ship. And now we are moving on to another boat.
Oh.
It's a speedboat.
Here we go.
It was made by a company called Schuco out of Germany. This is its box. It comes with its original as well. This is in absolute fantastic condition. You can see the little boy there on the side. It was actually battery powered, so he's got a little... We actually have it here. We can show you once I pull this back. But he has a little box in his hand.
So that's the boat. It's the Delfino. And intricate directions. Bree and I aren't much for directions. We read these a couple times. We still can't figure out how it works.
It really does. So you can actually read the entire directions here. It tells you everything. So, and look at the condition of the directions. I mean, even this, it's just beautiful. It's complete.
Yeah, and this one actually here, this was made in, let me see the box again. This is U.S. zone Germany. So this actually says U.S. zone Germany. So this again, wartime production. This was made after the war in Germany, before they split Germany into East and West Germany. And at that time, they were trying to raise whatever money they could, and they would mark these things U.S. zone, meaning the U.S. was occupying that zone. It's a plastic hull, but there is tin lithograph in there. It has, look at these, it has little buoys.
Look how wonderful these little buoys are.
And again,
these are what makes it rare.
Well, yeah, I mean, just the completeness of it. It has all this. It has
all
the battery
pieces.
pack. It has the steering wheel, so you could steer it from afar. And they actually say you could use this as a pace boat, so you could put it, you could swim along it to keep a pace.
It says it goes so fast that it works as a pace boat.
I mean, if you look right here, you can make it do these intricate patterns. These directions, they're written in English, but they might as well be in German because we could not figure them out at all. We were trying to plug things in.
We did try. We were trying to figure out. So this actually is what you would hold on the side, and then from what we've deciphered. Okay, you would plug this cord into here. And now this you would stand on the side with in your hands, and it has this little gauge here. So this would definitely direct the speed of the boat. But we're not quite sure.
I think there might have been a separate cable that you would use this, and then you could put batteries in the boat too.
Right, so the boat...
And with this, you could actually steer the boat.
The boat itself actually comes off fairly easily. And it is unused. I'm going to show you just so that you could see the inside of it. You could see that it's absolutely mint. It's never been used. And I mean, I think that that's a big reason why this has all of the pieces and it comes with its original directions and in its entirety. So
there's a lot of Schuco collectors. So this will, I'm sure, make a Schuco collector very happy because you usually don't find these in this kind of condition.
No, so it's just beautiful condition. It takes, looks like 1.5 volt batteries.
I think that would be a D cell. I'm not sure, but it looks like about a D cell size.
It does.
So that's our little Delfino boat.
Speedboat. So if you're training for a triathlon and you need a pacer, you can plug some batteries into that Shoe-Cutter boat and you can swim across.
Let it go. Let it go.
Okay, so I don't know if I mentioned, but that's lot 420. And next, we're staying along the lines of Schuco.
I didn't know if I mentioned, but Schuco was made in Nuremberg, and they started actually before World War One, but they didn't really start production until like the 20s. They closed down during the war, but their sort of pinnacle was right after the war. And they produced, I think, until the 70s, and they went bankrupt, but then they refiled. And I believe they're still in some sort of production right now, but it's one of those. Schuco sort of made its niche by producing a very nice, fun toy at a very low price.
So did they really have a genre of toy that they produced, or is it really all over the board?
It's all over the board. So they made a whole series of sort of walking figures, from little soldiers to clowns to pigs. I know you like your pigs. They made violinists. I mean, they made a whole series of little walking figures. They made a lot of different motorcycles. They made boats, as we're going to see over here. So
they made planes.
This is their plane.
So this box is absolutely beautiful.
Again, condition.
Condition.
Yeah, these Schuco toys all came from the same consignor. And straight out of the house, unused store stock, essentially.
Yes, and this is our... Look at the coloring on this label. I mean, the edges are beautiful. Everything about it it's just fantastic. But it's a Pan-American plane. And
That's before your time, isn't it?
It is, maybe just a little bit. And it is lot 422.
Look at that baby.
Look at this.
Now, this is all tin. It's all tin, a little bit of plastic cockpit. There is a crack in the cockpit. Underneath, you'll see where the batteries go in. It's essentially unused. There's a teeny bit of rust on the battery case cover there. But really in beautiful condition.
Really
beautiful
is.
Box, cables never used. The steering cable would actually go in the front of the plane here, and you'd have, similar to the boat, you had like a little steering wheel that would actually control it.
And this,
so you could connect it here, and then it would obviously it didn't fly, but on the ground. And again, there's instructions that come with that.
Instructions that come with this.
And we didn't do much better with these instructions.
See all the little flying patterns that it has on these instructions, and it has a start-stop button you can see right here. It has automatic, non-stop, and it says Schuco on it, Nuremberg, and Radiant 5600 on the wing. And also, just as in the speedboat, you can tell that it hasn't been used as well, because when you open up where the 1.5 volt batteries would have gone, you can see how clean that is on the inside. So
yeah, just a little bit of rust here, but
not too much.
Yeah, none inside whatsoever.
And it says trademark registered, Western Germany on the bottom. It's very cool. But what this really reminds me of, truthfully, is one of my favorite movies ever. If you've ever seen it, catch me if you can.
DiCaprio, right?
DiCaprio. Big DiCaprio fan. And what he did in that movie, which obviously it wasn't this plane, but he peeled off these Pan Am stickers when he was posing
forgot about that.
As a pilot. Right. And he soaked all the planes in the bathtub. And he would peel these Pan Am stickers off and put them on his pilot checks and cash them at the bank. And that's really what it reminds me of, truthfully, because I've never really seen anything like that.
It reminds me, remember the time we met DiCaprio?
Yeah.
What'd you think of him?
I thought he looked homeless.
Dirty was her exact quote. He looked very dirty and homeless.
Okay, let me back up for a second, because when I think of Leonardo DiCaprio, I picture Titanic Leonardo DiCaprio and Catch Me If You Can Leonardo. And this Leonardo was the Revenant Leonardo,
which we didn't know at the time.
And I hadn't seen that movie yet. So if you've seen it,
it wasn't out yet,
and you saw him in that movie, you would understand the comparison.
Well, he looked just like he did in the movie. Someone even said he had a little odor to him, because the rumor was he sort of was living in the woods and didn't want to break character.
Let me tell you.
We were in LA at a restaurant and we ran into him, and He sure was dirty.
He looked like that. He looked like he had been living in the woods. So. But it was a great movie too, but I just thought it was a silly, funny story. But so we did meet him, in fact. But that's what this really reminds me of. Beautiful plane, very nice. Like we said, came with its steering wheel and instructions and everything. We also tried to decipher these, but
not too good.
Not too good. But these are also in great condition as well. Beautiful.
Yeah, and also just wanted to mention, we're sort of focusing on toys that we don't normally show. Cyber Toys sort of covers all types of toys, especially sort of baby boomer toys. But we do have a lot of mechanical banks and still banks.
We do.
Which we normally will talk about, but we figured to sort of try some things that we don't normally cover.
Yeah, so we're trying to branch out a little bit and feature some other things.
So what do we got next?
So next we have this beautiful Gamma 505. Also with its original box. We're sticking with the Germany theme today. It was also made in Western Germany.
Now again, this is Western Germany, unlike occupied Germany or U.S.-owned Germany. This was after they split up. So Russia and U.S. split Germany in half, and we took the West and they took the East.
Got it.
So this is made in Western Germany, and it's known as the Wall of Death. And these are actually things that you would go to, and this was real big, I think, around the turn of the century up into the 20s. The car, there's a little car. This is a 505 car made by Gamma.
Yeah, so you would put this little car, and he actually goes around the side.
It's a wind-up car. And the car would go in, and like in the Wall of Death,
and it would
spin around.
And these were really popular, they started in 1910, but they went in the 20s, they really were in carnivals all across the U.S., and there were hundreds of them because, back then they didn't have, Netflix or movies to go see, so they thought, why not go see some daredevil ride on the Wall of Death?
Wall of Death.
And they were wooden back then, so really this is an homage to that. I mean, in that whole era, you could see a gentleman announcing it and everything like that.
Beautiful condition again.
And when they started, they actually they weren't 100% vertical when they first started, but within a couple years, they figured out how to get them 100% vertical. And on top of that, to make it even a little bit more challenging, they decided to add lions.
What?
Which, these are really legitimate pictures. As you can see, the wall, she's not quite on the side of the wall here, but there is a legitimate woman with a lion in the sidecar, and these would be the people, they would actually have stands where they would sit up top and watch, and these lions would be in the sidecars. They called it the Lady and the Lion Drome, which I think is just absolutely
the
insane.
Lion Drome. That reminds me of a story. Back in high school, my buddy, Henry Benedict, he liked motorcycles, and he wanted us to build the Ball of Death. And that's sort of like what this was, except they make it into a ball, and there would be motorcycles that go around. And you'd have a lovely assistant stand in the middle there. And we were going to tour the country, the Ball of Death.
With that hat on, I think I can actually picture him in there. You might even maybe you wouldn't see the lion with those goggles on your face.
That could protect me.
I mean, look, the lion wasn't always very nice. Look at this lion right here. I mean, he's getting a little
testy.
A little testy there. And I just think it's hysterical that they did this. When we were researching this earlier, I mean, a lion and a sidecar. But now the ones that you'll see that are more modern, that I'm sure you've seen, they're metal globes, and they have motorcycle guys. There's usually 2 or 3 of them. They're in more of like motocrossed type helmets, and like the heat suits and everything. But
I think my outfit's much better.
This is what the original outfits did
I'm
look
ready
similar
to go. Ball of Death. You coming on the road with me?
There's not much protection on this one.
I got a hard head. I don't need much. I'm pretty good.
But yes, Ball of Death. So, with that being said,
what more can be said?
that's all items we had to feature today for Cyber Toys. But like we said, there are over 450 lots. There are various manufacturers. It's super, super easy to jump on liveauctioneers.com. We are more than happy to help you bid online or by absentee if you don't feel comfortable bidding online. And you can search on there for all different lots. And our next broadcast is going to be Monday, May 22nd, live from Louisville, Kentucky.
It's going to be a good one.
At the Fraser History Museum at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard. And we are going to be broadcasting from the Stewart Gallery of Historical Miniature Figures, which is an absolutely beautiful, world-class collection. It's one
best
of the most,
in the country. Best in the world,
best.
probably.
And there are over 13,000 figures and over 114 manufacturers. If you are a toy soldier enthusiast, you need to get down to the Fraser History Museum and see this collection.
Yeah, they had a soft opening last September, and then they're having a big gala event on the 23rd, I believe, of May. The gallery's been open. It's a beautiful room. If you like toy soldiers, you name it, they have it. Just really some of the very, very finest soldiers in the world.
Yes, that is. So we'll be looking forward to that on the 22nd. The next Old Toy Soldier magazine is in production as we speak.
Almost done with
and it will be going in the mail before the end of the month. So if you're a subscriber, look out for your issue. If you're not, you can subscribe on oldtoysoldiermagazine.com. And with that being said,
I want everyone to come see us in the Ball of Death this summer.
That, yes,
Brittany
that
and I
for
are
sure.
going to be at the Allegheny County Fair.
Okay.
And in honor of today,
May the 4th be with you, everyone. National Star Wars Day. I don't know if you can hear me, but good luck to everyone participating in Cyber Toys this Saturday. We will see you on Live Auctioneers this Saturday, May 6th at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard.
bye everyone.
Happy bidding.